UNIA CBPM office, working, entering data. And I never been to the continent. And then one day, our first member, whoever signed up, came to the office and he dropped a ticket to Africa in my lap. He said, Ross Marvin, you do too much work for Africa not to go to Africa. And that's this brother here, I love him so much. There isn't a week that go by that he doesn't come by the UNIA CBPM office. He maintains the computers at our office. Anything that I need, this brother is here for us. So let's all put our hands together for the founder of Africa for the Africans, taking brothers and sisters home to Africa like Marcus Garvey wanted us to do to reach the continent. He has taken home over 250 brothers and sisters in the last 10 years. And I don't want to let the cat hold of the bag or the rat hold of the hat, whatever they want to call it. But with his leadership, we've set up a repatriation village inside of Africa.
All right.
So brothers and sisters, I want you to put your hands together for the first member who ever signed up, and he was a previous officer, Brother Bomani Tayemba of Africa for the Africans. He just returned from Africa, and he's going to share with everyone his journey. They went to 3 places in Africa, Ghana, Benin, and Togo, I believe. And also, well, I'll let him tell the story. Thank you.
Appreciate Brother Ross Mark. Always good at everything.
Yes, sir. Every time, brother.
All right, our Greens family, name is Bomani Tayemba. And what I want to do is I want to pass out these colorful postcards that tells you, which has the link and information for what I'm going to be talking about today, which is Africa Tourism Investment and Repatriation Program.
I don't need all these from the phone. Let me give somebody later that wasn't here. I'll give you these for now. If you need some more, I'll give you later.
All right, our Greens family, can everybody hear me loud and clear? All right, once again, my name is Bomani Tayemba, and our organization is called Africa for the Africans. Right. And let me just give you just a quick, brief, short intro about myself. I'm originally born in Kingston, Jamaica. Right. I lived in Jamaica for 11 years. I moved with my family to Brooklyn, New York when I was 11 in 1988. And that was that journey that brought me 7 years later to this, when I was 18, to start venturing out to build my technical background, my traveling, and also just learn more about my roots and culture. So about 13 years ago, I started studying about my roots and culture and started traveling to the African continent. Now the first set of tours, or first set of countries that I went to in Africa was in 2004. I went to Senegal and also Egypt. That was March and April of that year. In 2005, I went to South Africa, Kenya, and Senegal. And that was the countries 3 and 4. In 2006, I went to Senegal, and then I went to Ghana in December 2006. And that was the birth of Age of Africa for the Africans. We started our company in October of 2006. And the purpose of our company was to connect our brothers and sisters based on the experience that I've previously traveled to the African continent and all the research I did on my roots and culture. That way I could be full-fledged into just having full clarity on how to present and share information. So after we put all of the business things together, we did our first journey to Ghana, which was in December of 2006, and it was 8 of us. And that was an incredible fact-finding mission. And once I was there in Ghana, I learned so much about the roots, culture, and I saw a whole world of opportunities for us because I didn't know our business, Africa for the Africans, would evolve. So the following year, our second tour was October 2007. And that was our biggest group until this year, which is 10 years later. It was 42 of us, And that really started the program of how we're able to put together a structured program to take big groups of our people in group size of 30 to 40 and connect our brothers and sisters to a nice program around an incredible country, Ghana. And historically, Ghana is known for those horrific Holocaust dungeons, both Elmina and Cape Coast, and there's also many other forts and dungeons that were part of the transatlantic European slave trade. But those two main connections it's also a connection that bring up that a lot of us that are interested in Ghana, that was our opening connection. We wanted to find out about what happened to our ancestors. So those dungeons are still standing there. But over the years, the program we've built, we started doing annual October journeys from 2007 all the way up to 2006. And then we have added a few different countries over the years and changed up certain things in the program. We've evolved in the 10 years. Now, the main core of the program is a repatriation and investment conference. Now, the repatriation and investment conference, it really deals with us having full-fledged knowledge of how we live and do business in the African continent. A lot of times, we want to know more about this information, but the ideal resource for us to learn about is from our own peers who used to live in America, live in the African diaspora in general, the Caribbean island included, and have repatriated or made their move to live and do business in Ghana. So we have groups of our brothers and sisters that we have built an itinerary around where when you go to the African continent, Ghana, you see and connect with your own peers who used to live here. That way you can get an upfront, clear feel of how it is to live and do business in a country, Ghana. So it's a mix of different things we put into the program, and as we travel over the years, we just keep building the program and building it so it can be more structured. That way we can find different ways to keep that connection going, because that's mainly what it is. It's a bridge of connection. When we were stolen from our African continent, we didn't have a whole lot of resources of how do we get back, how do we set things up, how do we put things in place. So over the last few decades, those of us who have had that experience have come together and have built different programs. And I myself, in the last 10 years or so, have been learning more about building these programs. That way we can represent our people in African diaspora on the continent better, because there's a lot of us that are here that can be a part of a great future in Africa. And sometimes we don't even know it because we don't have a clear perception of the country that we're going to, which is Ghana, and how things are. Because there's 50-something plus African countries, and trust me, from one country to the next, the world of a difference. We were just in Ghana, Togo, Benin a few weeks ago, and going to all three countries make you really appreciate Ghana and the connections and the things that are going on there. Because not all African countries have things in place for repatriation and things like that. But eventually, we have to get there to where we're connected with more countries and we're building programs to where we can successfully move and settle and be a part of the culture in the future. So that's never an easy thing. In one or two countries, and that's where I'm here talking about that. A lot of things that we would love and want to see happen in the African continent may not necessarily be happening as the way we want it to, but the more of us that come, travel, do business, and do a lot of connection networking, the better it is, and that's how the first set of 30 brothers and sisters in Ghana received citizenship earlier this year. If we stay here and we keep focusing on how we built America and all those things, then we'll never get a chance or never find out the possibilities of our reconnection. So our group, our business enterprise, Africa for Africans, Tourism and Investment, have those programs laid out. And the most recent itineraries we have, it includes us going into the center of Ghana. And when you go into the center of Ghana, you're thinking about sustainable development, because if we are to go to the African continent and we want to just reside in the main cities, we'll be facing the same situation that we face with us just living in all of the main metro cities across the U.S. What we have to do, we have to step further out, acquire land, and land is also very reasonable the further you out. But you really need to be in nature to really start focusing on how we can really build things for ourselves. So even though the program we deal with tourism investment, the greatest investment is investing in the land, planting all the food that you need in the land, and also building all the structures you need for your home, your business, enterprise, with sustainable materials if possible. And eventually, you want to, I always talk about the evil, wicked utility companies, the water company, electric company, gas company, internet company, and there's ways that we can build our own companies just like that. The technologies are out there, but we just have to open our minds and say, I'd have to literally look at going further out. Not saying you can't do these things in the U.S. You can do these things in the U.S. And for some people, that may be their best bet is to stay in the U.S. and live in the U.S. But when we talk about the evolution of the future, we talk about the things that we have to focus on the African continent. And we talk about all of the things that's already in place by all of our brothers and sisters for the last few generations who have seen that this is the way for us to go. Because we think about 100 years ago, and we think about all of the prominent voices in the world as far as black minds and vision, and most of those minds were about integration and about trying to get a piece of what the status quo system had in place. And then you had the greatest Pan-African visionary of our lifetime, Marcus Garvey, laid out a foundation for us to vision of us living and doing business in the African continent. Unfortunately, our ancestors, Marcus Garvey, never made it, but that's literally what it takes sometimes to build that vision for people like myself and other people who have came to build onto the program, which is called repatriation. It's never been really the strongest movement, but now is the time for us to really make it stronger. And the reason why it's never been the strongest movement is because we always had some of our brothers and sisters who believe in integration, and not going to call any names. We know the history of so when we look at the things that they wanted to envision for us to be a part of America, and then we look at all the things that have gone wrong in the last few decades, then we can realize that a visionary like Marcus Garvey was on point when he mentioned the words Africa for the Africans. So we literally worked that in vain in our presentation, all of our works of traveling. Like sometimes people see us on the YouTube videos, and we're on Facebook, we're in Ghana, we're in Brazil, we're in Ethiopia, we're in different countries, and they think it's just all, just having a blast and it's fun and games, but it's seriously this hardcore, dedicated work. And the reason why we shoot so much documentation, because we want our own people to know and see what's going on in these countries are real. So we do straight journalism. We take our camcorders all over the continent, and wherever there's black influence, and document it. So we get to the point where we're becoming more conscious of the African continent. So now we have to take it to the next level, which is really the investment portion of it. And the investment portion is always going to be tied into repatriation, because one of the greatest investments is repatriation itself. Literally relieving yourself or freeing yourself from captivity in America, and putting things in place to say, we're going to use our resources to build all the things that we need. We talk, about manufacturing. For me, manufacturing is literally thinking about everything that we need for our survival and being about it and making it happen for ourselves. And once we start building more of these mindset, we can begin to start looking at relinquishing our this connection or this love for America.
That's right.
Sometimes I don't know how to really just put it in terminology, but if we really think about, if we put a few more percentage of energy into the African continent, we'll have an incredible continent where all of us can live the greatest quality of life in the most sustainable way possible. But that is never going to happen without a fight to do the works that you have to get up every day, and the sacrifices you also have to make every day. I have a lot of people right now, currently they're just caught into the holiday season, especially the Christmas madness and the shopping and the gifts and this and that. And realistically, those are some of the things that we have to literally give up all of these holidays that have nothing to do with us, and save our resources and use it for the investment of traveling, living and doing business in Africa. Don't want to give any numbers or information like that, but I do have my full details on the cards that I'm always open to certain questions and certain details, and if I have time, I can take some questions also. Sure, go ahead.
So approximately, how many Ghana cities would it cost to actually build
and you live in America, so I'll give it to you in American dollars. You can get a one-bedroom or one room for 20, 30,000. 2-floor, 3-4 bedrooms, 40, 50,000, and that's from you using sustainable materials, or you can just use your regular brick and mortar system. So the prices and information is not that much different. It's just a lot less because you're using certain type of labor.
So, and what about the utility system that they have in Ghana? Is it like you said, we can create our own utility system?
Yeah, I'm saying Ghana is a modern country, so you can get you a high rise and it has all the plus utilities you have right in the city and pay $3,000-4,000 a month. You can rent or buy a house. So you can rent a house for $1,000 to $2,000 a month, all the things that you need. And another option of what I'm talking about is you can literally go out further out of the main cities, and you can acquire land, get you a quarter of an acre land for about $500 to $1,000, and then build you a 2-3 bedroom for $20,000 to $30,000, and then grow all the fruits and vegetables that you need. But also you can incorporate your own sustainable system. Yes, you can get electricity, water from the city, but you can also build your own system. I mean, the technology is out there to where that is a great option, especially if you want to be free from these companies.
So I understand that they have some real structures in Ghana as far as the building materials that they use. You know, I've seen houses that were made with deeper symbols in them, gates that have these wonderful structures and things like that. Yeah, so I'm saying that we have all we need already there.
Absolutely, my sister. We have everything we need in African continent. The main thing we need is our conscious mind and ideology, understanding that if we're going to be living and doing business in the African continent, it's not about exploiting our own people or living this high-plush life while we are in the middle of villages where people are struggling and we just living on good. I always think that's like very sick. We have to be about uplifted all of us together and as a nation of African people, reconnected, reunited, and building for the future. And then once we start building more and more, we can reach more out to our brothers and sisters in the African diaspora that wants an opportunity to live, do business on the African continent. Sometimes some of us are here and we have a lot of skills and resources, but we just don't have certain things to get us over there. So the better we're in place at our Africa for Africans repatriation community, which is going to be based in Techiman. We have 2.2 acres. Me and my brother Ross Marvin and several other people, we're going to be working towards building this community so we can have everything that we need to really push a stronger repatriation movement. So all of the connections and things that we've been doing, traveling and networking, all of that is for that ultimate goal. But it just took so long to get there, and that's why I'm always saying to our people that if we want to make things happen for ourselves in the African continent, we have to be willing to give up a lot of these things that we're still attached to in America. All right, my sister, if you can come up a little further and ask a question. And anyone else who have a question, can you come up further and ask a question? Go ahead.
How often are you taking people to?
Yeah, we do tours every May to Ghana, July to Brazil, and November to Ethiopia or South Africa. Oh yes, we were giving the cards out earlier. Brazil in July, Ethiopia in November. And our website, africafortheafricans.org, has a full schedule to where once you go on the website and you click on the tour link, it'll give you the full details as far as the tour itinerary, overview, and a lot of preparation information. I'm key about preparation information because a lot of times you want to have a whole group be clear on the whole process, and you don't want to think that maybe someone just knows certain things. So we deal with things from the basic all the way to the advanced. So the 6 months to the 1 year while you're getting ready for your tour, you're going through conference calls and social conversations and meet and greets. And my sister, you had a question? Can you give your name?
My name is Laura, and I just had a question about the question she asked about the citizenship, but does the citizenship status affect the purchase of
no, it doesn't.
Does the citizenship status, will that affect any other countries?
Like right now, example, I have a Ghana visa, and I was able to acquire land. Like most of us, because it takes a while to get citizenship, and definitely, actually, it takes a while to get residency, and it definitely takes a while to get citizenship. So sometimes, so right now, the quote-unquote citizenship is a process, and right now we have our brothers and sisters that have been living in Ghana over the previous decades, for the last 3 or 4 decades, and they've been working on different programs over the period of time. So 30 of our folks receive citizenship. So right now they're working to make it mandated into the system to where it can be reduced from 10 years to 7 years. And the land is a lease based. It's 50 to 100 years, 50 to 99 years. And I have some wonderful documentation that we have pre-recorded and things that I can definitely also get to you.
Is there a limit on what you can do on the land? Like, as far as, there's a lot of people that I know that talk about this type of thing, but it's actually what happens a lot of times. So let's say I'm participating here, and I'm going through the immigration because I'm not a citizen, is it okay for me to like you said, they're of the community and help the people to help on the land and grow the food, creating jobs for them, things like that. Like how do you go forward doing all of those things if you're not, while you're working on your citizenship?
Yeah, I mean, the main thing is while you live in the country for the 10 years and you're working in residency and you work on all the documentation for your citizenship, you can participate in nation building and everything that you need to do. It's not, the citizenship, whether you have it or not, it doesn't stop you from doing anything in the country. It limits certain things, but all of us have to go through the same process. For those who are born outside of America, when we're working to get our citizenship, it was that same process of living in the country and having documentation, but you can still work, you can still do business and make things happen yourself.
You have an example, Sister Office, right?
Exactly. This time because I've been living in Ghana for over 30 years. She's been in business for over 20 years at the One Africa Resort, providing excellent travel, tourism, and accommodation services at our resort. And because I've been going back and forth, and this year she literally was given, she was one of the 30+ people that will receive citizenship based on a lot more people who are put in for it. But it was the outgoing president. Outgoing president laid the foundation down to grant the citizenship. So now things are going to be put in place to make it, make it more of a program for us. So those of us who are interested in traveling and living in Ghana, as time goes along, all those things will be in place. But the main thing is for us to keep doing the work, keep putting together our master plan to make things work here in the continent. But once you get there, you get your land and you're a part of the different communities that we will connect you with. You're going to have people around that can assist you in all different ways. And that's why we're pushing for more of a communal living, where maybe 5 to 10 of us are people here and live in a certain environment and look out for each other. That's one of the main things that we always have to think about. And don't just think about I'm just going to Africa and it's safe and it's easy and everything's simple. You still have to watch it back. You still have to look out because not everyone in Africa is just going to be so excited about you coming. So people are going to look at you as an opportunity. So that's the reality of what we have to deal with. So the traveling in our program, we go through a lot of those basic things. That way you're clear on it, and then when you go around the country, you kind of see things. But it's all designed to connect you for that future movement. And not everybody's going to be open to moving, but beyond that, it's just a great tour program to where you can really enjoy the country and learn so much.
When is your next flight to Ghana, you say?
Yeah, Ghana, we're leaving May 23rd.
When do you leave?
May 23rd, 2018.
May 23rd?
May 23rd to June 5th, 2018.
No, that's when you leave. Don't worry about me getting back.
May 23rd.
May 23rd?
Yes.
Okay, great, thanks.
I got my sister. The tour is $3,700, and it includes your flights from anywhere in the U.S. It includes full accommodations. For the 2 weeks, we have a tour bus that we rent the whole time, and we drive around the entire country. We have a full staff and crew. It's 2 meals a day, breakfast and gourmet dinner. Two people to a room. It's 4 different hotels. You're looking at about being in the African continent for 13 days. And it includes access to the entrance to all sites, activities, business and investment conference. So the only thing that it doesn't include is your lunch and group tips. So that's what we do is full accommodations. And if someone wants to do something beyond this, a tour, or they want to stay longer, there's all different options that we have. Can you come to the front and ask your question, please?
I can talk loud enough for everybody to hear me.
Sure, go ahead.
All right.
All right.
All right. So my question had to do with something that someone asked earlier. They asked about was dual citizenship available? You said in some places. What places are those?
Ghana dual citizenship is not mandate. It's in the progress. We do have people who have received their citizenship, but that was because our outgoing president signed the paperwork and got those 30+ people clear. So it's just the next set of works. And over the period of time of traveling to Ghana, that's how it's been, where it takes time to get things in place. So that's why it's important. More and more of us are there in the country doing things. And I can't think of any other country, but then I can't think of any other country in the African continent where it has this amount of brothers and sisters from the African diaspora that do incredible works all over the entire country.
That's right. You're right.
So obviously, that made a difference where the government are pushing for that. So sometimes it just takes our energy to make those moves, and the more and more of us are going, we're going to have a whole lot of things clear. But we also have to look at the reality of the African continent. There's a lot of things going on in different countries, and they're trying to get things in place for their own people, and they're trying to make laws to where I guess people from outside of the country don't come and just take over and do what they want to do. Yeah, neo-colonization at the highest level.
That's right.
All right, now, brother guy with a question?
Yes. What areas of Ghana do you visit on your tours?
All right, the 4 regions we visit are Greater Accra, Kumasi in the Shanti region, Cape Coast, Elmina in the central region, and Techiman and Kintampo in the Brown-Hafo region, which is in the center of the country. And that's the highlight of our tour. When you look at itineraries, you don't see that region. Usually you see the 3 regions I mentioned.
Right.
But that's the big difference. You have your question?
I'll question, when you visited Accra, my cousin had some bid and board there. Were you able to venture out in that area?
Venture out in the area?
Has a bid and board in Accra. What is it? Did you venture to any of the bid and board areas?
You said bed and board?
Yeah, bid and board, like
Like a band, but
yeah.
Yeah. Two have me said bed and board.
I'm sorry, it caters to the African Americans here, the
No, I mean, we have people. I mean, the groups that we have are big groups, 30, 40 people, and it's a bustle of people. So we're in traditional hotels.
Okay.
But,
So it doesn't really stand out far as what you may have ventured to.
I mean, but even when you go to One Africa, that's you're in a community in a village. So the whole itinerary is set up to where you get a feel of a little bit of everything.
Oh, okay.
But at the same time, too, the most important thing is if not, then people are going to come back and say, Bomani had to be in a hot bus. Bomani had to be in a hotel where AC didn't work, hot water didn't work, and things like that. So we made the journey as comfortable as possible because we understand that comfort level is important or people will flip. But beyond that, you're getting straight roots in culture and experience at the highest level. The only thing is that we don't have you sleeping in the village overnight where there's certain things. So we're giving you an introduction, and if you want to come back and get another type of introduction or stay longer with a family or friends, or stay at one of the traditional villages, you have those opportunities and options also. So I feel like we cover, our goal is to cover all kind of options for everyone.
Exactly. And then you don't have to really spend at the European real high price hotel. Because the kind of bid before she has, you get your soul from there, or if they get, it's an inner mixture of whatever you would like to have.
I mean, we can always do specialty things, but when you're dealing with a group of 30 or 40 people, where most of the people are coming from corporate America, engineers, and people who are going to write the checks for the trip, you have to think about their mindset also of what they're accustomed to and what they're looking for. So you have to kind of mix a bunch of things in together. Like example, One Africa, we explain to everyone, there's no hot water, there's no TV, there's no internet, and things like that. But that's 3 days part of the program. And the other part of the program, you might have just a real nice, fancy African-style hotel and things like that. But it's really mixing it together. You give based on a decade of experience and a journey to where, for people who've never been to African continent, you can just flow in and then just take it all in.
Can you speak a little bit on the repatriation village that's being built and how can people connect with it?
Yeah, the repatriation village is basically is what we have to do it's some serious work in the future. I mean, it's set to where I'm literally looking to move there to run all the business I've been running, which is a technology enterprise, African tourism investment, and then all of the energy that we've been doing to push repatriation, and then basically using all of our resources. So the profits was able to get us to get the land, and since we have the land, we just really have to work on the next phase to build the structure and build the guest homes, and build the farming, and also connect with our sister Nunet at Benue Village, and how we can work together to helping each other out with the sustainable living part, and also just be a stronger force for repatriation. And people who believe in these movements, we have to take it to the full length of it. And the main important thing is to get the land we need to build those communities. And it's not one or two communities, because Ghana is such a big country to where you can have different communities all over Ghana, all over the continent.
That's right.
But it would make a lot of sense because you're part of a community to where that's how everything that you need is taken care in the community, and you're not out there. Like the idea is to get us away from the corporate world, where we go there and we work for rich white people and make them richer every day. So it's just it's a concept, and we have to work towards it, just like everything else. Just like I talked about, Marcus Garvey had that vision for us to build a nation in Africa and do for ourselves. And it's along that same line. We just got to keep on working it, and then we just got to keep away from the distractors. We're going to keep on telling us we built America and we should stay in America and we should do this and America this, America that. So I'm one of the people that, if people feel that way, I tell them to enjoy yourself. Make sure you do the best for our brothers and sisters that are not going to be able to leave here. If you're really about that, and for those who have that energy that can make things happen on the African continent, let's keep on working together to make sure things are in place for our brothers and sisters who realistically do not want to be here and they realize that this is not their home.
Absolutely. Very good. Speak to us about purchases. You now talk about purchases of land over there.
Yeah, I was saying the main place where we deal with land is it's called Benue Village. It's here in Techiman in the Brunhafo region. We have the 2.2 acres right by Benue Village. So our sister Nunet, she's the person that does research to get the land. You just basically let her know what you want and you put your money down on it. So for us it was 9 plots of land. It was $500 per plot. So I came to $4,500, then you have to do another like $1,200 or more for registration, identification, paperwork, and things like that. So it's not a bad process. All of that was able to get done all of this year. So that's what I say. One process flows, you get your land. Next, you work in your blueprints, and you put your resources together to build the type of structure you want. So on the tour, we go to a few different land sites also. One by Elmina by the beach, and we just explain the different process of acquiring the land. But the main thing is to have your money ready and put it down and kind of build from there. But all of the connections that we have are secure connections, and that's the purpose of traveling and doing business here in Ghana for 10 plus years. To know who to do things with, know who to connect with, and know who you can trust. And over the period of time, we have figured it out to where just keep moving forward. Go ahead.
Have you heard of the organization Fiancra?
Yes,
Are they still in existence?
I can't even say.
Okay.
I used to go up to Fiancra, but a lot of things went on there, but it never manifested. And that's why I was talking earlier that whenever we have these visions to do these things, we have to be full-fledged. We have to where everything works out well. And so a few things happened, and 2 of our elders got killed in that area. And
Your sister just recently was killed, wasn't it?
It was a few years ago, but it was a bunch of things that went wrong. I was a great supporter of Fiancra, but after certain things didn't work out, my sister reached out to us in the Techiman Fraunhofer region, and that ended up just working out. It was a much smaller project, and sometimes that's what you have to do. You just have to build from the ground up, and you can't have the mindset of just egotists and things like that. Not saying all of this went on with your project, because I don't want to talk about what went wrong with your project on a recorded call, because I don't have all those details. But it's it should be a learning lesson for all of us that number one, when we do have a part of land, we need to get it developed. We need to really put things in place and make it work, and also cater to our brothers and sisters from the African diaspora that's going to make it work, and represent them with proper management and things like that, and so on. So we could probably think about the things that went wrong. Go ahead.
Okay, so I got like 3 questions, okay. How do you get the land? How much does the land cost? And how long, if the government have like some type of laws or something, do you have to actually build something on that land?
In that region, you get a quarter of an acre for $500, and it's a 50-year renewable lease. And then you can literally start building what you need to build on it right away.
So am I limited just to a quarter?
No, you can get, and I'll say that we had 9 plots of land earlier. So that was $4,500 plus paperwork and other things that had cost. So I'm just giving you a quarter of an acre, but if you want more, you just multiply that. A quarter of an acre times $500.
And I can buy that now?
Yes, you can travel with us. You can give the money to our sister. You can get the paperwork and everything. So that's the same process I just went through the last few months.
So it's the idea that the same plots of land that are being sold in the same area, the same person, that this is a working community for everybody that's buying this plot together, right?
Exactly, and it was so hard to find a perfect community because number one, you want to be up an elevation from the town. You want to be looking over the town, and you want to have just everything around you plush green. So that was perfect. It's just always hard to find an ideal location. So we was able to find it, and that's really what it is. When you're there, it's like a community. You have a village before you and a village after you, so you're right in the middle of just African culture.
What area is that?
This is Techiman in the Fraunhofer region.
Is that near the upper road?
That's in the center of the country, like literally in the center of Ghana. That's why we're good.
Well, brother. All right, let's go ahead and sing it. Africa for the Africans. And the greatest thing that I was able to accomplish when Bomani brought me to Africa in November 2015 is that I was able to step through the door of return. We were taken through the door of no return to never return again. But now Africans are returning through the door of return. And that was one of the greatest things. So we thank you so much, Brother Bomani. First member to sign up for Division 421. And we all got to think about our future. Because it ain't getting brighter for us here in the United States. And we got to look at Africa as our frontier. Give thanks, Brother Bomani. In fact, we want to thank everybody for coming out this evening. And we had a great program. The Sound Conscious drummers, let's put our hands together. The vendors, thank you so much, Sister Aries. Black Star Cafe, Lady President.